Alright guys, so this video is gonna be a bit longer, and it's just lots of information that Gerrit shared with me. So I might divide this into two and start from there. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy it as I did, and hopefully you guys learned from it. Alright, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Let's go! Yo, what up guys? Good morning, good day, good living, happy to be alive. But yeah, I have some activity today, or I have just some plans to do here in Calgary, which I want to visit a aquaponics facility in, well, it's close to Calgary, which is in High River, and I just want to have a tour around their place and see how they do it. And what, again, every day is a learning curve for this stuff, and there's always space for additional info and to learn. So I'm trying to book a tour this weekend, and hopefully I could vlog there. But well, I'm still talking to the guy, and I'm just not sure if I could take some videos. But in the meanwhile, since the weather is great outside, I'm just gonna start planting the potatoes that I did, or I reserved down below so that they could sprout out. So I'm gonna do that now, and let's go. Yo, what up guys? So it's Saturday. I'm just getting ready here to set out and go to the aquaponics in the High River. But before I leave, I need to feed the fish. So yeah, let's do that. Alright guys, so I'm headed now to the Alberta Tilapia Aquaponics. That's the full name. Alright, so it's gonna be around an hour, or I think it's roughly an hour and a half drive to the High River. And I was talking to them already regarding doing some videos and vlogs on the facility, and they told me that they allow picture but not sure with video. So hopefully they will allow me to video some of the facility or their equipment or whatever they have there, so that I could share it with you guys. And yeah, I'm just so excited to see their system, and this is my first time gonna see this in a full-scale system in person. Okay, so I'm headed there now. I'm just gonna take you guys along with this journey. Alright, I'll see you guys there. Guys, this is Gerrit, right?
Yeah.
Swanapo, and are you mainly the manager or what in this?
Yeah, I'm one of the owners here, so I am the one that runs everything here.
Alright, for how many years now?
This farm is 3-4 years old right now, and we've been doing aquaponics now in tilapia for about 10 years.
And they are the only are the one that provides in Alberta, right?
Yeah, we actually provide all of Canada with fingerlings.
There you go. So if you guys want to get hold of this guys, I'm going to be putting their details in the description below, and yeah, could ask him information, eh?
Definitely.
Alright, so where are we going now?
So now we're going to go to our main grow-out system. Our main grow-out system consists of 21 tanks and a 3-stage filtration at the front, and then a 4th stage in the greenhouse. The reason everything is in the white tank, it is a lot easier to clean, it doesn't build algae, and a lot easier for us to contain. So fiberglass tanks usually have some chemical seepage. Excuse me. We are CNG certified, which means while being CNG certified, we're not allowed to have any chemical seepage, not from our plumbing, not from our tanks, nothing from that. and that is why we use the system and the tanks. It's easy, they are 100% safe, and they are safe for human consumption and water holding. These are the tanks that they usually put in houses so that they can have water and hold the water. This system is a recirculating system, so we have 21 tanks up top, we have 3-stage filtration at the bottom, and a single pump that runs everything. The reason for that is so that we can recycle all of our water, and we only use about 50 gallons of water a week that we add into our system.
But I thought the white tank though, when sunlight hits them, well, your place is not that exposed to the sunlight. That's when it builds up algae, right?
Yes, and fiberglass tanks have more sides on it, like little pieces that is indents, things like that. Algae, everything likes to grow in those indents. These are 100% smooth, which makes it very, very easy to clean, and that way we have better quality water in our fish systems as well.
No, quick question for you. The IBC tanks.
Same material.
Same material. Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Because that's the only access that I have in the Philippines right now that I'm gonna buy. Maybe probably 2 or 3 of them. And again, the reason why I'm interested with tilapia is that's the very easiest fish that I could get.
Yeah, they are very easy to handle, they are very easy to work with. These guys are very, very disease resistant, so they don't really get any diseases, anything like that. And ICP toads work just as well as these guys. Just make sure it's food safe, that is one of the big requirements. And then of course if it's brand new, just give them a good rinse, otherwise there might be some residue left inside of them. Okay, so as we go up to the tops, you'll see that there's some breeding systems on this side, so we reintroduced our breeding systems once our last ones were lost in the house fire. These guys are 1 male to 5 females, and these guys will breed every 2 weeks, and then after we remove the eggs and they will be artificially incubated in a system we custom design.
So how many is the ratio? 1 male and 4 females?
5 females.
Oh, 5 female. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Now, what's the reason for the bucket or the pot?
In nature, the male always digs a little cave in the side of the riverbed, and then he invites the females over to actually go into his house where they then spawn. And,
oh, you're just mimicking it. I see.
We are basically giving him an artificial cave so that he can invite the females.
Why is there a white tilapia or a red one rather than, because the normal one I see is the black one?
Yes, so there are 3 different species of tilapia that we actually grow. We grow the red hybrid, which is artificially made. We are actually a GMO fish, and then the other ones is natural fish. So we have the white Nile and the silver Nile, or the blue Nile, as you know that. These guys are easier to handle. The blues usually can handle and tolerate the colder weather and the colder water, where the whites do not. But the whites grow much bigger, better fillet, and a cleaner fillet. So by combining the 2, we create a hybrid fish. And they grow much faster, and they also can handle a little bit of colder water, so that we can run our system at 21 degrees Celsius instead of 26.
Old is your breeders here?
These guys are just over 4 months right now. These guys do grow slower because they're on a smaller amount of water, and these guys will only stay here for roughly about 6 months longer. Then they get recycled and go back to the main grower system, where we grab new fish from the main grower system and start breeding again. A lot of water flowing. All of this is about 100,000 liters of water that is constantly flowing. The fingerlings start right at 1 inch in the front, and then we class them and grade them as they grow older and bigger. Happy is as soon as they come up to eat. So these guys will all come up if they are not too shy today. They already got fed this morning, so hopefully they come up again. Now we usually stock them roughly at about 2 gallons for every fish, which means every tank will have roughly about 1,000 fish in them, or a little less, about 750
700
fish in there.
per 1,200 liters.
Yeah, per 1,200 gallons.
Per 1,200 gallons.
Yes, this is a 6,000 liter tank. So where you would use the ICP toad, the ICP toad is roughly about 1,000 liters or 250 gallons. So this tank is roughly about 6 times bigger than that.
How big is your pump?
Our pump flows at 200 gallons per minute. So every one of these tanks gets refilled roughly once an hour.
Okay. And that only runs everything here for 1 pump?
Yeah, everything gets run from 1 pump.
You have a spare, right?
I have 2 spares actually, just in case.
Exactly.
We use Pentair, and they have one of the best continuous pumping pumps, and they are strong, they are diligent, and they are very energy efficient, which is extremely important for us. Electricity can get very expensive very fast, so you try to find ways to alternate and not to have to pay so much in that. Our heating system is hydronic, so when we use our hydronic heating system, it actually allows us to heat one mass of water and then slowly, continuously heating it, allowing us to use a lot less natural gas to actually heat it. So this whole facility heats for roughly about $400 a month, including my greenhouse in winter. So,
because in the Philippines, my plan is to use solar.
Solar works, but solar can also be unpredictable in Canada.
It is, but the thing is, like, the electricity there is far from the grid.
Yeah.
It's like this, but in the Philippines, it's more cost effective to do solar than to have a line, you know, connected to your farm. It's like, okay, I would rather have an electricity that I understand, because as myself, I do solar stuff and those stuff, right? So I understand it.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I'm like, okay, I rather do it this way than do it with a grid, which it's unpredictable to when you get, you know, brownout and what, and now you have to buy a generator too.
Of course. All facilities, you always have a generator backup.
Exactly.
Simply put, these fish can survive roughly about an hour without oxygen and circulation, so we do have a generator backup if anything does fail with our electricity. That way it will continue our pumps flowing.
No, wait, when it comes to that though, let's say there is a power outrage and, well, you want the air, of course, in the tank, right?
That is correct.
The ammonia will build up because of there's no filter going on.
Exactly. So because we feed such a high ratio of feed, I mean, we feed roughly about 3% body weight daily, the amount of ammonia that will build up in 2 or 3 hours will be toxic to the fish.
Exactly.
So if we have a power outage, we actually have a pump that will continuously flow. That pump converts back to the generator as well as our oxygen. That way we keep our flow of our system going. Even though it won't go through the greenhouse, it will stay isolated in here, keeping our fish alive and safe at all times.
I understand. So yeah, I was concerned about that as well. And also, I saw some like the Overflow Design. There are 2 Overflow for just in case that plugs in or what. But this is big, so that's impossible to plug unless the fish get in it.
Yes. So I'll grab the Overflow Pipe and explain it to you because we use a different system than traditional. Okay, so our overflow system works with gravity. So once the water in the tank fills up to a certain height, it automatically starts to flow out. We actually allow the T here so it doesn't create a vacuum, so it doesn't create a siphon, otherwise it will drain my whole tank. And then of course the slits right at the bottom of the tank, so it only removes the solid waste first. And as long as the tank is filling, the system actually keeps on exiting out, which is very simple, very effective.
Won't that be too small for the solids to go in though?
No.
Like for the...
Solid waste actually flows quite constant in here. We do have holes at the bottom, it's dirty now from the dirt on the floor, but because we have so many slits in here, the flow will always keep on flowing. We never have a problem with them clogging. It makes it a lot easier, and if we do have one clogging, the tank will only fill to this height and then start siphoning out of the top. Which again allows us, it will siphon the tank down, so it prevents overflow of our tank, so we don't waste any water.
And that's the reason why you don't use a pump on the tank, is to
prevent anything like that.
Exactly. Because there's like some newbies that put the pump on the fish itself.
Exactly.
And if you have a problem with your plumbing, and guess what? Drains everything and kills your fish.
There's another problem with that also. As soon as you pump out of this water system, your water levels will go up and down the whole time.
Okay.
Now by doing that, you actually cause a stress in the fish. We have it on this side, and you can see right inside of the tanks as well, there's a permanent ring on where our water level constantly stays. So our water level never goes up and down. It just stays at that constant level, causing less stress on our fish itself and allowing the fish to have a better environment to live in.
Because what I did with mine is it's better not to have a pipe on top than if you have a small system like mine, because if the water does go up inside and I have a plumbing problem, the water will just siphon it from the top, right?
Yes, it will siphon out of the top, but again it will allow your tanks to not overflow. So by leaving it open to the top, we can siphon the water level out and it will always stay safe. Let's say by hook or by crook nobody's here and we have a pump failure. The water level will never drop lower than this.
Exactly, because of the overflow is only at that level.
Exactly, so we won't lose all of our water, which means our fish will always stay constantly safe. So everything is built around keeping our water levels and everything as stable as possible and allowing our fish to be at the best environment they can possibly be.
I understand. And you have a heater because of the cold climate here.
Of course, we need heaters in Canada. Our water goes really, really cold really fast, especially at winter time, and because it runs through a greenhouse.
And it also across outside.
No.
The piping?
All our piping is done underground. That way, there's no impact in the environment and also no chance to escape. So all our water plumbing from here goes underground over to our greenhouse, and then comes back.
Would that make the water cold though in winter time?
It is 8 feet down, so no.
Oh really?
Yeah, all our plumbing is 8 feet down, so it doesn't freeze or anything like that, because you know frost heat, things like that, kind of have an effect in it. But by putting our plumbing so deep underground, we have no problems by.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's 8 feet, and then we run. If you look at the top of the shop, you'll see that there is hot water lines that run right beside it, inside into the nuts, also go down right into the greenhouse.
I understand. All right. Waste?
Yeah, the second one is our biofiltration.
Biofiltration.
Then we have a holding tank, and the greenhouse acts as our fourth and final filter, which is our nutrient filter.
Okay. No, do you have? Is the third one is your sump tank or what?
Yeah, basically a sump tank. That way, that one goes up and down, and the rest of the system always stays stable. So all of our systems work exactly on the same principle. It's easy, and it actually works phenomenally well. So as you can see, the 3 stages is right up front. It's lower than the rest of the system. That way it all flows by gravity. So the first one is a solid waste removal system. So this is our spool filter. The water flows in at 3 different locations. It goes into a single barrel where it then disperses and slowly starts driving. And by dropping off the flow rate in here, the water is stable enough so the solid waste will slowly drop to the bottom, and then the clean water will flow over to our biofiltration system. This one then sucks the water over to the filtration, where it will start to convert that ammonia over to nitrates. Now this one is our biofiltration system. We use K1 media in it that is constantly flowing. The reason for that is old bacteria and new bacteria can break and bump against each other, breaking off the old bacteria and the new ones can go and allowing our conversion process of the ammonia over to nitrates.
Now, is there a ratio for this?
Yeah, 1/10 is the safe ratio that we use, and especially if you use K1 media, which is extremely good. So we use about almost 2 metric cubic meters of media in the system to accommodate our amount of feed. Usually, if you look at the calculators online, they use the amount of fish and the feed that you feed your fish, and that is going to convert and give you exactly how much biomedia you need in the system to have a zero ammonia.
I see. Now, let's say that this water is filled up to here. How many is the beans? Like half?
So the beans, yeah, a little bit more than half, and then they are in constant flow. So if you look over the top, you'll see that they are in constant motion. As soon as they get heavy, they'll build up, and so we have one area on that side, and you can see it has a lot of it in the build up, and that creates a little mountain. But as they flow again and break their old bacteria off, they start floating better, flowing better, and creating a better environment for them. And then from there, it is converted over to our sump tank. So this is basically what we use as a sump tank. We have all the water flowing right in here, and you can see we have another tank where I keep my driftwood. Those are the guys.
That's just the bait that you need?
Yeah, I just use pieces like that. That one is filled up in there, and so we have used a whole bunch of it. And literally, that is what I use to control most of my pH. It is natural, it is easy, and yeah, it works phenomenally well.
There you go. Driftwood is the solution.
Driftwood is the solution. Our main pump that services everything, and the secondary is standby. We use that one right now just to circulate our biofiltration system, and then the return line from the greenhouse, and that is just going through a UV filter, so it can kill off any algae that is built up in the greenhouse before it enters into the system.
I see. Now, rainwater.
Yes, you can use rainwater. We do not. Because I use so little water. I mean, I use 50 gallons a week. So I put it through a reverse osmosis and I put it into our system. This whole water system was actually trucked in from Calgary. All of our water came from Calgary initially, and so we never used any natural waters in the system.
Now, have you tried it before?
No.
No?
Right now, we live in an area where the water is going to be so little.
Exactly. Because, I mean, I got a big access of rainwater. I just want to know if the pH or the nutrients in it will be harmful for the fish or what, or for the plants?
No, it shouldn't. Unless you have extreme amounts of pollution, you shouldn't have any problems with rainwater. Rainwater should be 7. Most of the time it is stable right at the 7 mark, so your pH is going to come in at 7, which is extremely good for the water itself. There won't be any major nutrients in it, simply because it is evaporation that builds up and drops down again. But yeah, it's a really, really nice source of water to use. We just haven't gotten to it.
Yeah, I know. We live in Canada, which is dry.
Yeah.
Alberta mostly.
Exactly. We don't have all that much rain that drops out here, so I designed my system to be more energy water efficient and recycle more of my water than I actually have to put in and try to collect rainwater and things like that. So right now I put my well water through reverse osmosis, and that way I can fill up my system with that. As you can see, our plants do phenomenally well.